So, speaking of your team,
Oof.
Brother, I have never, I have never, I was thinking about this because I'm like, obviously, since Caitlyn has been here, the Fever have been the center of attention. Like it's been a thing since she's gotten here, and we could never really shake it. But the attention right now, and I think it's because it's very negative, and it's negative in like all directions. Like at least during her rookie season, it was like you kind of had the two pots of people. You either hate Caitlyn because you love Angel, or like you really fuck with Caitlyn because you think she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like it's two dichotomies that you're like, okay, kind of balancing the scales a bit. Last year we kind of got away from it because all people could talk about was her poor shooting performance and she wasn't really playing. But now we have entered a sphere of people complaining about her defense, about her flopping, about her and Steph White having spats on the bench. And I really have a problem with that one because the video was recorded by a fan. Like this is a video that somebody random on TikTok recorded and posted. And media, and when I say media, I don't even just mean like the WNBA media that we like talk about on Twitter. I mean like NBC is, you got Cheryl Miller and Sue Bird up here think piecing it. And and I'm not, and I don't want to frame it as what if what said were like bad things because I agree with the things that they said, but it's just like we now have these random interactions that nobody was actually intended to see being placed on a spotlight. Um and not even caught on the like game camera. Like this is a random interaction that we were not supposed to see. Um so you have that, and then her injury, like the late scratch, like it's been so every day it has been something new. And I am not a person to defend a white woman. You know what I mean? Like I'm also of the opinion like I don't need to defend no millionaire. Like that's not my brand. Like Kaylin don't need me to defend her. Like she gonna be all right. But we're teetering into like, can everybody be serious for just a sec? Like, are we all okay? Or can we like Caitlin get behind me a little bit? Like what is going on? And I don't even know if people can really like I don't really even know where it came from, right? And I think the thing that's bothering me is that who Caitlin is right now is who she's been since I've started watching her. Like even at Iowa. She was not a good defender at Iowa. She was whiny as fuck at Iowa. Probably actually worse at Iowa because she really was the star. Like she was flat out, this is my team, this is my shit, nobody better than me. The flopping, like for the like the push offs, like she has been the same player the entire time, and I think it's fascinating me that people are like now like, oh look, she's like not as good as she's not as good as they said she was. And it's like you also can't really say that because she's top 5 in this league in scoring and she's leading the league in assists. So like you can't even say she's a bad player because if you're saying that she is a bad player, then what is everybody else? What are we saying about these other people who are like statistically not even coming close? And like like I don't know. I just feel like there's so much to critique, but it's just like, why are we critiquing it? Why are we doing this? Why do we need to do this? What is this conversation supposed to do? Like, are y'all think y'all gonna bring Caitlin Clark back to earth? Like, y'all don't think she knows who she is? Like, I don't understand. I don't know what this is supposed to be carrying us to. Like, what are we supposed to be getting out of this? Because at this point, it seems like it's never going to end. And if I'm exhausted, I can only imagine what everybody else is feeling. And I don't know. I don't see the point in it. Like, are the reactions supposed to hurt her feelings? Because it is pissing her off. You can tell she's getting in press conferences and being like, "Are y'all gonna ask me about my back? Okay, like this is what happened." Like at 5:42, I told her like this, she getting a little irritated. She had to get in pressers and be like, "I love Steph White. Steph rode for me. I ride for Steph." Like, it's like, is it about the hoops or is not? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's people wanna bring it to the hoops and say she's not a good basketball player, but it's everything else around it that's really not even being critiqued. Because once you say she's not a good defender, okay, now what? The Fever is still 4-4. Do you think she contributed or did she not? Like, where are we going? What's the aim? What's the direction? I don't know. I'm trying to ponder that, but it is such an odd thing to watch.
I feel like it seems like the responses are the. This seems like what happens when someone gets overhyped in any like media, where people will come in and crown them whatever, good, bad, fair, and different, um, as like this thing. I think Caitlin's thing was so much like bigger than most other medias because uh, just because the where the WNBA stood at the time, and so because you had so many people saying or treating her as if like this is God's gifts to the W, you have people in response being like the exact opposite, and neither one of them are fair. Um, so because people were like, "Yeah, this is the best, greatest player ever. Like no one has ever been as good, whatever, whatever. No one's ever been able to do the shit that she does." You have people being like, "Well, she's not doing what y'all say she was doing, so she's ass." And it's like, okay, well, just because she's not doing that, that doesn't mean she's ass. It doesn't have to be all that. It could just be she's not as good as what a subsection of people were saying, which is fine because it was never meant to be that. It kind of reminds me of like how people are doing like Jokic right now. Like people were trying to be like, this is like the greatest player ever. It's like one of the top offensive peaks ever. This is blase blase blase. And then because they haven't won in the last like 2 years, people are like, nah, this nigga not it at all, actually. And it's like, well, it's not that. It's not that he's not that good because he is that good. He may not be this, but that's fine because we were never supposed to pay attention to those people anyway. So I don't know. I feel like people have a really bad habit of balancing criticism or taking instead of being like the things that these people are saying are crazy, so I'm gonna ignore it. They're just like, oh, well, these people said this, so now I have to have the exact opposite reaction to this because this is inflammatory. So I also have to be inflammatory in response. And it just doesn't make it makes basketball discourse as a whole nasty. Because there is no it was like that for Angel. Like you had people coming in that people hated her for the you can't see me shit, and she came in the league and people were like, she's ass. Like this is not a good player. uh even when she was doing historic shit, and but then you have people try to be like, well, no, actually, she's all this, and it's like there's a middle ground here. There's no need to be inflammatory to all this. There's a middle ground in conversation, and neither one of y'all have to pay attention to the other. I just, I think that really be the biggest thing is people feel like everything they don't like needs some type of reaction, or everything they don't like needs some type of counterpoint. Like everything needs a balance, and it's like you don't have to balance it out with that. You could just be in the middle.
I feel like it'd be better if people could just say what they thought instead of, like you're saying, that like the praise was way more than, like the praise was doing a lot more projecting forward than people may be willing to admit. So it's like the response to that is to say this player is actually the opposite. And we wouldn't have this issue if more people just said what they actually thought. Like it, and like instead of being like, I need to be reactionary like this to counteract the reactionary stuff from the other side. It's like, how helpful is that really? So now it's more like, are you reacting to the basketball or are you reacting to the takes that you heard before? And that's where it feels like the disconnect is. Because when I watched those games back and I watched the way Indiana played, I actually do think there is room for, I don't think Caitlin is like a lost cause defensively. I do think there are little things that she can clean up that would make her a better defender even as early as the next time they play. Hopefully not, because they playing us next. But
is National Discourse Day.
But not looking forward to it. Not at all. But
I am, because I'm an innocent bystander.
I do think that there's small stuff defensively that can be done that would improve her and improve her perception, because nobody's asking you to be Gabby Williams on the defensive end. Like, there is a way to make it to where you're not being put at a disadvantage every time. Teams are going to pick on Caitlin Clark defensively, and they should, if for no other reason that she won't be able to get out in transition and run the offense. Before the season, she said she's the best transition player in the league, and she might be right about that. So if you're attacking her defensively, it is more difficult for her to get back. It is more difficult for her to push the offense forward. That reason alone is enough for me to say, attack her defensively, put her in as many actions as she can, wear her down, so that this half-court offense has to wait for us to set up. That's just good game planning. Does that mean that the Fever are going to lose every game? No, it doesn't. Matter of fact, they lead the W in points per game on the season. I have a feeling that they're going to be fine. Their defense has actually not been bad this season. They've been around middle of the pack because the Fever did good work in the offseason, and they surrounded Caitlin with good defensive personnel. I think there is something that can be done in terms of the coaching aspect of it. There was a point, it might have been, at least in these last few games, the Fever have done a lot of switching. Like they switch early and often. And they say, we are willing to concede that pretty much every time. And maybe you want to start back mixing in some drop coverage. Maybe you want to start back mixing in some zone possessions. It just is. We're still early enough in the season where you have to find the balance to get to where you want to get to on that end. But in between that, there's going to be some growing pains there, and there's been a lot of projection. I saw somebody ask, does Stephanie White really want Raven Johnson to be the point guard of the future, and she just waiting for Caitlin to get out the way. And we don't have to do that. Like we don't have to do that.
Especially like I genuinely liked how we constructed our roster. Like, do I need more from Monique Billings right now? Absolutely. But like everybody else is doing about exactly what I expected them to do. Um and it hasn't even been perfect. Like this has been like, oh, we kind of piecing it together, right? With players on minutes restrictions. We are like, how can you have, I don't know. I just don't think you can have the number one offense and then you're concerned that like your head coach wants to get rid of the person leading that offense. Like I don't think that works. Like, and the purpose of a Ty, of a Raven, is because we know teams are going to try to wear Caitlin down. You have somebody to help with that. Raven and Raven and Caitlin can be on the floor together. It looks fine. It actually looks great. I've seen Caitlin get several open shots because Raven can bring the ball down, bring the ball up the floor, and Caitlin can run off a screen, or she can trail, or like she can do different things to put her in a position to score cleanly. Like this is the point of it. And it's in I do think it's funny, the Portland game, and I'm sure it's because we had just beat Portland and then we turn around and lose to them. I was really disappointed about that Portland performance, but like the score was actually worse than I feel like the game actually went. And because y'all know I didn't watch the game live, I watched it a couple of days later. So I had seen all the discourse. I saw the score, seen the discourse, read the box score, and I was like, girl, this don't even make sense. But like actually sitting back and watching the game, I was like, oh, like we took 8 straight threes in the first quarter, and Portland took advantage of all of those. And now it's a 20-point game. Like, I unfortunately, unless Portland had a horrendous downfall, we were not coming back from that. And I think the thing that we struggle, because I feel like people are blaming it on Caitlin's defense, when in fact, like, it was bad because we didn't rebound. We just didn't rebound. Had we rebounded in that first quarter, like, that game wouldn't even look like that. And to your point, Jeff, people just saying what they needed to say, like, I can say that. Like, I can say we got out rebounded. Like, and it's not going to necessarily show because we cleaned it up the rest of the way. And so it feels like things kind of balanced out. But it's like, had you just played the way we played in the fourth quarter or in the second quarter, like, from the start, the game doesn't look like that. And I don't know. I am trying to do the thing where I'm kind of staying off the internet, because the doomerism shit is like, it's corny. It's corny. I don't have a better word for it. It's corny. It's and the blaming the coach for everything, and the shooting percentage conversation, like, all of it is corny. And I want us to stop, because like, we do not have to talk about basketball like this. You do not have to consume it this way. You also just can't be having fun talking about it like that. Like, okay, Caitlin's a bad defender. Now what? Now what? Okay, she's shooting 30% from the floor. Now what? Is your next inference, oh, she's terrible? She's a terrible basketball player. Okay, well, that conversation's over. Like, what are we hoping to gain from this dialogue? Like, it's just so much more happening in the game, on the floor, that you can actually sit and talk about and critique, that the overreactions are just lazy. It's lazy journalism, and I'm tired of it, because you don't have to do that. And for so many people to like pretend like the basketball is the important thing on the floor, like y'all don't care about it, and that's okay too. You know what I mean? Like you could. I actually would respect people more if they just like every day was like, I don't like Caitlin Clark. You can do that. You can do that. Like, I promise you, if you don't like somebody, you don't have to pretend like it's a basketball critique. Just say you don't like her and let it be. People will still probably jump you for that. So if you feel like you want to argue, like, you can still get it. You can still get off on that. But like the faux concern and conversation is just, it's just so lazy, and it's like not helping anybody.
I will say, whether it may be fair or not, I think it's so much louder only because of the playoff run last year. Um, I don't. Yeah, who's to say how Indiana would have fared if Caitlin was there? Um, but I think there is a little Ewing theory going on now, and because they take the defending champs to seven, the defending champs have to win at OT, and then you start off slow the next season. I think as much as it is probably not fair, I think it was inevitably. Sammy, yes, Skip Bayless can't go to hell for so
Don't
many
even get me
reasons.
started on that, because he pissed me off
Um,
so bad.
but yeah, I think whether it's fair or not, I think it was going to be an inevitable conversation as soon as the fever started to slip. And the only way that this conversation is going to go away is if the fever go to the finals. And maybe even, like, I really don't think this conversation is going to go away unless they win at all. I feel like this is always going to be in the back of people, because people always end up talking about young players like this anyway. Like, they're so like glitz and glamour about them, and then when they don't win within a certain time frame, it's like, oh no, actually they're overrated, and then this young player is better than them, and then it's just a cycle. But yeah, the Fever are gonna have to win for this to be over.
No,
This is
I
just like,
honestly just don't think it's gonna matter, because like you just said, we started the season slow. We're 4-4. Like that's not starting a sleep. Like, we lost a game, won a game, lost a game. We were on a 3-game win streak before we lost 2. And outside of Portland beating the shit out of us, every other game has been within 5, within 10. Like, that's not real, like, a team this is not the 2024 Fever where we was getting our ass beat. Like, that was a slow that was bad. Like, I don't think we got our first win until like game 12. Like, that was nasty. That's starting slow.
y'all starting slow because if the season started today, y'all would not be in the playoffs.
But
It
I
is
think
not.
that has more to do with what's happening across the rest of the league.
I get that, but
But that's not start. But I'm saying, but that's like not starting slow. Like, right now, we have the same record as the Mystics. We have the same record as the Mystics. What, we're 1, 2.
the teams that are worse than y'all or under y'all in the standings are ass.
They are. They're bad. Except, I mean, we're not talking
and
about
and the Sparks are fine. The Sparks are just injured, and that's really their excuse. But like, and
But,
they were
but
ass.
my ultimate thing is the Liberty were just 4-4. Like, they were just right next to us. Like,
I will.
so it's not
Also,
like it's not
I
like
would
it's
also
a
say
big
the
difference.
Liberty. I would also say the Liberty started off slow.
I think
They won their first game by 30. Like, you can't. I just don't think you can call that slow.
I think
Outside of that,
Because if you're saying starting the game, like starting the season middle of the pack, not even want to call it middle pack, but like middling, then the only teams who have been good are the Lynx. The Lynx, I mean, I guess the Dream, the Lynx and the Dream, the Wings. who like
And the
niggas was
Aces.
like not even really sure if they was good weeks ago. Like I don't know how you can say, oh well,
I
they're
feel like
starting the season 12. These niggas is losing.
I'm fine with saying the top 5 teams in the standings have been the most consistent teams because the season just started. The top 5 teams are 6-3 or better. Atlanta 6-2, and then the Lynx is 7-2, and Atlanta has only lost to the team. I mean, has lost to the team ahead of them and the Aces, and then everyone else is like. I mean, the Liberty. I would, even though the Liberty are 5-4 right now, I would still say they have started the season slow because we had the. I think it's more based on the expectation. I think we discussed the Liberty being a top team, and although they were missing players, I have not. I would have never expected them to lose to the Portland Fire twice. Like that just was not on my. That was just never on my agenda.
And
so
that is funny because we just talked about Alex Sarama winning Coach of the Month. That's part of that.
So I would say they started off slow. The tempo are a little bit better than I would have. The both of the expansion teams are better than I thought they would be. So I wouldn't necessarily say they started off slow. If anything, I would say they've exceeded expectations. So I don't think it's a record thing. I think it's an expectation thing. I think because y'all were right. Even when we did our preseason power rankings, it was the Aces, the Liberty, the Fever, and the Dream. And because y'all are nowhere close to the top, it's like y'all kind of did start off slow.
Which is funny because it does kind of feel like,
bro, we're 2 games behind them. Like that's not egregious.
Yeah, I guess it's just like it's the fact that
you can't. I don't tell you to say it's slow. If you are, if there is literally there's just like not enough. There's like not enough difference between 2 and like legitimately between 2 and 11 is like 2 games behind. Yeah. Like that is the margin for error is this thin.
Yeah, I feel like
it's because of the expectations.
It feels like
which is fine. So like even if it is expectation, but like
the Liberty and Toronto game just ended. So Toronto is now 5-5, so they're technically the same record as the Fever in terms of win percentage. So that would put the Fever at 7 in the standings. But again, we're talking like there was a half game difference between the two. It was the Fever were half a game behind Toronto because Toronto had played more games. And now they're tied because Toronto lost the game. So 2 teams being 500 and then Portland is 1 game above 500. Now the 5 teams ahead are the 5 teams ahead. And of course there's different things that factor into that. There's noise in it when it comes to the teams that you play and all of that. But I do think people have kind of just they view certain teams under a microscope because of the expectations placed on them to start the season. It does feel like it's funny that it does feel funny that they're kind of that it's being labeled a slow start when they were just 4-2. So like 4-2 turns to 4-4. It's like, okay, what's going on? When honestly, it's just a bump in the road at the most. But we'll see. I mean, they do have to. They have to, figure out what the plan is on both ends of the floor. I actually think they'll be fine. Like everything kind of shakes out in their favor in terms of how well they pass the ball, how well they rebound. Like the Jermaine said the reason that they lost the game to Portland was because they not enough possessions. They were losing possessions because they couldn't get rebounds. And the rebound rate for Indiana is going to be what keeps them in games. So when that's off, you lose to a team that people thought you were better than. So it's going to happen throughout the season. It's not the end of the world. We'll see. It does kind of feel like the concern is a bit overblown to me.
I would agree. I think when you, I just feel like there's a difference between, like, let's say the season ended today and the Fever were 28 and what's that? Is that 16? Can I do math?
Yeah. It's 28-16.
28 and 16, and then the Toronto Tempo were 28 and 16. It's like, for one of those teams, you're like, damn, you really did that shit. Congratulations. And then for one of those teams, you're probably like, you probably should have won more games. And so you're looking at them a little funny. When the Aces lost 2 games in a row, I was like, what's up with y'all niggas? They won, they lost, they got their heads cracked. They won 4 straight games and they lost 2 straight games. And I was like, what's going on this season? I just feel like it's natural to be like, what's going on with my team? I thought y'all were better than this. And now they won 2 straight games again. So if they inevitably
but that's kind of the point of, like, we don't have to talk about it like that. Like, there's a very real reason why we got our head cracked against Portland. Like, there's some very obviously basketball things that are, like, not unfixable that happened. In the same way that, like, Vegas lost to Dallas because Asia was bad. Like, the shot just was not falling for her that day. That's legitimately probably the biggest difference between them getting a win and them losing. And it's like, it would be different if the reason why you lost was like, oh, like, Vegas is legitimately a bad team. Like, nobody can get scored. Nobody, like, there are a bunch of things that are wrong with the team that they can't get right. But, like, your superstar has an off shooting night. All right. Like, all right. And they kept going to her. So it's like, okay, we want to live and die by that. That's fine. But, like, I did not look at Vegas losing to Dallas and be like, yeah, them niggas ass. Or they started the season too slow. Like, because to your point, like, at that point, you could have been like, yeah, these niggas ass. Because they would have been 4-3. Like,
I was very close to being like, had we lost a 3rd straight game, I'd have been like, these niggas might be ass. I don't know. But that's just me. I just don't think the narratives help with your team specifically because y'all are the most popular WNBA team.